Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Mommy Loves to Read. I'm Olivia and thank you for joining me today. So guys, this is my first video of the new year, so happy new year to everyone. Hope everyone's new year is off to a great start. You're enjoying the year and I know 2020 is going to be great. So yes, today is Saturday when I'm filming this, so happy Saturday. Me and my kids are getting ready to go to the park. I have the chickpea salad in the refrigerator. It's already made. I bought my salt and vinegar chips yesterday, so we are ready for the park and we are ready for our picnic. But before we leave, I decided that I wanted to come and give you guys my first review of 2020. This is my first review in 2020 and the first book that I have completed in 2020. So before we start, I have a story. I always have a story. That's just me. I'm a storyteller. So I was part of a book exchange over on Instagram, and I got like the email saying that my book had been sent, and I was like, oh my. And I kind of forgot about the book being sent, kind of just, got busy and forgotten. So I went to check the mail, and I had a package from Amazon, and I was like, what did I order from Amazon? I don't remember ordering anything. Like maybe I ordered something during the holidays and kind of just forgot about it. I don't know. And so when I got home, I opened it and I saw that it was this lovely book, which is The Stars and the Blackness Between Them by Janata Petrus. And guys, I was so excited. It was actually really funny that the person who picked me chose this book because I had already had some books like on my wish list, and then kind of at the last minute I went in and like added this book, and I didn't know what book I was going to get. I just saw that they had bought a book, and so I was like, man, this was like perfect alignment. It was meant for me to read this book because this was like a last minute add. And out of all the books on the list, this is the book that she chose. So yes, I just finished this book. It was so good. I loved everything about this book. The only thing I didn't like about this book is that it's done, that I've read it and I'm done reading it. So that was my only like dislike about this book. So in this book, you are following Audrey. She is a young girl. She's like 16 and she lives in Trinidad with her mom, who she does not have the best relationship with at all. But thank God for her grandma. She has a grandma, her grandma Queenie, and her and Queenie are like thick as thieves. She really understands Audrey. Queenie is the person that Audrey goes to when she's having trouble. She really keeps her grounded, and she loves on her in a way that Audrey doesn't feel that she gets that love from her mom. So Audrey's mom is really religious. She's really into church. So Audrey, to kind of please her mom and to try to help their relationship, she decides that she's going to start going to church with her mom. She doesn't really like it, but when she is there, she does meet someone named Neri, and they kind of form like a really great friendship. They kind of have like this love for each other, and through this friendship they form their own church, and it's like CHURCH, and what is it? Oh, I'm trying to think of the acronym. Come here, you rebel, come here. And so that's like their church. And so they meet every Sunday after they go to church by the sea, and they just kind of hang out and fellowship with one another, and through this like a love relationship is formed. And so this is kind of what Audrey looks forward to every week, going to meet Neri, being with Neri. Well, one Sunday her mom finds out, she finds them together, and all hell breaks loose, for lack of a better word, excuse my language. And her mom loses it. She gets mad. She like is beating Audrey and pulling them apart. It's this big scene. It's terrible. So because of this, Audrey is now being sent to Minnesota to live with her dad, who she hasn't seen in many years. So she kind of is like almost doesn't even know who he is. That's how long it's been since they've seen each other, and she's really hurt and she's really torn, and she just doesn't know what to do. Her grandma, she's like try to convince her to let me stay, all these things, and it doesn't work. So Audrey is kind of put on a plane and sent away. And when she gets to Minnesota, she is with her dad, like I said, who she doesn't really know. So she's kind of trying to get that relationship going. But her dad's best friend has a daughter, and her name is Mabel. And Audrey and Mabel actually have met each other, but they haven't seen each other since they were 11. So it's been about 5 to 6 years since they've seen each other. And so they kind of form this friendship. I guess you can say they kind of pick up where they left off. Mabel's is also 16 like Audrey. She lives in Minnesota. Her dad is really big into gardening, so he has this garden that they call like Black Eden, and she takes Audrey there because she remembers that last time Audrey was there, she really loved raspberries, and they have raspberries in the garden, and Mabel is kind of like her first friend. And through like this friendship forming, Audrey feels very welcomed and things like that. Well, once school starts, everything gets underway. Mabel is feeling really terrible these days. Her parents take her to the doctor and they find out she is actually terminally ill. She has this sickness and the doctors are saying they don't know how much longer that she can live. And so the story kind of takes off from there. And that is where I'm going to stop, because if I keep talking about it, I'm going to tell y'all the book, but I need you to go out and read it. So yes, it kind of stops there. And through like this sickness, Audrey and Mabel they find out about life. They discover themselves. They discover about who they are and kind of what it means to be who they are in a world that may not always be accepting of them. But just because the world does not accept who you are, like, you just need to be you. And the one thing that I really, really loved about this book, there was so much that stuck out about this book, but the one thing that I just made me fall in love with this book was the parents. Like I said, Audrey and her mom did not have a really good relationship. They were like polar opposites. Audrey is very like eccentric and different. She's definitely like her own person. She's not trying to run with the crowd. She is like, I'm going to be my own person. I am who I am. And throughout the book, she always talks about how like she always felt so different. She didn't understand why she wasn't like the other kids, or she didn't want to dress like them, or she didn't want to just do the things that they do. She's very into kind of eating like more of a vegan diet. She's into like spiritual things, but not really like Christianity, more like spirits and things like that. And so it's just like she's always felt really different and she doesn't understand why. And so living with her mom, she wasn't really able to be who she was. Like I said, she did have her grandma there to help her, but her grandma could only do so much. And so when she moved with her dad, the one thing that I really love, her dad was just like accepting of her. Audrey actually thought that her dad did not know why she got sent to live with him. She thought that the mom had just said like, I want you to come live with me. And later on in the book, she actually finds out that the dad knew like that she had gotten caught with her girlfriend, and that's why she was sent to live with him. And he was just kind of like, I don't care. You love who you love. It was one part in there where he told her, I don't care who you love, as long as they're loving you back. And I thought that was just like so amazing, because so many times, like, I can speak from a parent's perspective, like sometimes we have these ideas in our head of who we want our kids to be or what they're gonna be. And I think this book really just reminded me to parent from a place of like, I'm gonna love my kid the way they are. And I really just love that. Like, even Mabel's parents, they were so accepting of just like who Mabel was. And I honestly love too the fact that they tried to figure out, there was one part in here, she really liked a musical group, and they it's like a non-binary group. So at one point the dad was like, oh, I really liked the lead singer, she was really good, da, 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 da. And Audrey was like, no, she doesn't go by she goes by they. And the mom kind of like corrected him, and he apologized. He was like, oh, I'm sorry, like this is all kind of new to me, I'm trying to figure these things out. But I just love that like Audrey's dad and Mabel's mom and dad were just, they were like, these are our kids, this is how like they're gonna live their life, and like we're gonna accept it and we're gonna learn from them. Like, I'm gonna let my child teach me something that I didn't know. And so that really just stuck out to me in this book, and I feel like that's what made me love this book all the more. The fact that like the love that Audrey received from her grandma Queenie, from her dad, and the love and acceptance that she received from Mabel's mom and Mabel's dad not only helped them like be the people that they are, but help them learn to really like love and accept themselves and realize like there is nothing wrong with you. You are who you are. You were created how you are, and like walk in your truth, walk in who you are, and don't let anyone or anything try to push you down or make you feel like you're not right. So yes, guys, I know that was like, I kind of went off on a tangent, but this was just like a really good book. I am so glad that this was my first read of 2020. I feel like it's gonna put me in a good space. Actually, I'm really excited because I got an email that my books on hold came through, and so I put on hold What the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo, and then Motherhood So White. I don't actually know who that's by, but I've heard such great things about it. So before we go to the park, I have to pass my library, so I'm gonna go pick up my hold, then we're gonna go to the library and have a great time. So until next time, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Like I said, once again, Happy New Year. I hope everyone's New Year is off to a great start, and have a great day. Bye.